Hello everyone, so before we start, I just want to say I'm having an SLP giveaway at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. I'll also put all the timestamps below so you can skip to whichever part you want, even to the SLP giveaway. But yeah guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my content. But yeah, let's get into it. So if you're a new player like me, Season 18, the previous season, was the first real season. So I had basically no idea what the previous card buffs or nerfs were, and like what to expect for the next season. So I went through the previous balance changes from other seasons so that you don't have to. I wanted to know how they handled buffs and nerfs, but generally I'm guessing they have to be really cautious because there's so much money riding on the line. Like this game is a livelihood for some players. They use this game to pay rent. So if they nerf too hard or buff other cards too hard, a lot of people will get affected. Like a normal game, let's say League of Legends, they can nerf and buff all they like. Sure, some people might get pissed, but come on, you buy a champion for like what, $10 or something? Here an Axie is like what, $300, $400 per Axie. But yeah, that said, let's see what they did during their last round of balance changes. Let's go backwards, I guess. So I found 4 previous seasons with balance changes. Last balance change was season 17. Here, as you can see, they didn't nerf too many cards. They took more of a try to buff a lot more of the weaker cards approach. And most of the buffs and nerfs, they're like by tiny amounts of damage or shield, like 10, maybe 20. Okay, I'm not quite sure about this. If you guys know, please let me know in the comment below. But they did change text on Grass Snake and Garish to apply 2 poison. Was it 1 poison before? If so, then that's a pretty good buff actually. Those are the only 2 big buffs I see standing out in that patch. And maybe double talk from 50 damage to 80 damage. That was a pretty big buff also. But the rest were only like just minor tweaks. But boy, 50 from 80, that's quite a bit for double talk. It might be too strong now. What would be a fair nerf to it? Maybe 60 damage, I'm guessing. 60, 70 damage? Probably 60. 70 is probably still too much. I think that's fair considering it completely ignores shields. So yeah, the rest are like what? Just a few attack damage or shield. Shiba just 10 damage increase. Caterpillar was 20 damage. Grandma's fan 10 damage. But yeah, you get the idea. Just tiny buffs here and there. And nerfs were also pretty small too. Just 20 damage, 10 shield, 5 damage. Very minor nerfs. Nothing crazy. But yeah, I guess I do like that approach of not nerfing something to the ground. Just nerf a bit if it's way too strong, but buff all the weaker cards more. So the players with Axies who got nerfed don't feel like shit. So another season they had balance changes was season 15. And wow, like poison was actually 3 damage per stack before, and they changed it to 2 per stack. Oh man, just imagine Grass Snake or Garish Wormwood if poison was doing 3 damage per tick instead of 2. And apparently critical strikes were really toned down during that patch. And I would have hated the season before that then. Imagine Axies critting more than they are now. I think crit is generally frowned upon in the community. I think everyone wants it out. Like drawing cards is already a bit luck based, but adding crit to it makes it a lot more luck based in my opinion. But yeah, this season not much balance changes like the damage or shields, just more mechanic changes I guess. And the next balance change I could find was season 9. That's actually a lot of seasons in between. Changes in season 15 and then changes in season 9. There's like a difference of what, 6 seasons in there where they didn't change much. In this change, they changed a lot of card text. Like here, Bamboo Shoe used to only be chainable with another bamboo card. Now it can chain with any plant. And while Dark Swoop had double the damage before, it got its damage halved. But that's still a good nerf. It's still being used a lot now by birds. Little Branch went from Morale Plus to more crit chance. They probably need to change that again. And let's see, Balloon Pop just got a tiny bit of damage nerf. That's not too much. Arco changed from Apply Moral Plus to Speed Plus. That's a good change. I generally just don't like Moral Plus. I don't think anyone uses Moral Plus. The only Moral Plus I think is left is what, Confident? But yeah, I don't see anyone using that. Looks like this was Anemone's patch. Both of the cards got buffed by a lot actually. 10 damage, 30 shield for the first card, and Aqua Vitality. 20 damage and 30 shield. They're pretty damn strong right now. I'm not sure if they need a nerf now. Maybe shield nerf by a tiny bit, but I think they're still in a good spot, the Anemone Aquas. But definitely frustrating to deal with those builds. And look at this. Silence Whisper and Strawberry Shortcake got buffed that patch. Nobody still uses them. I don't even know what buff they need to make them be usable. Like Strawberry Shortcake in general, I think 2 energy is just way too much for a card. It needs to be like really pretty damn powerful. I mean 270 HP is pretty damn powerful, but no attack or shield. Yeah, these 2 cards are still not being used. And then just a few minor changes here and there, text changes. Nothing major too in this one. I guess the only big ones were the Anemone changes here. But aside from that, nothing too drastic. And then the last one I found was Season 7 balance changes. There might be more than that, but this was the only 4 that I found. Nothing was drastically changed here as well. I guess just a few cards. The only ones I can pick out is Double Talk again. Looks like Double Talk just keeps progressively getting buffed and buffed, and now it's at a point where it's too strong. But yeah, the only ones I can pick out from here is Double Talk. Wow, Snipshot used to have 80 shield, that's a good nerf. And Sirius used to have 60 shield and 50 shield, now it's only 30 shield. Those are good nerfs too. Even with those nerfs, Sirius is still one of the top most used cards in the game. I mean, it's really good, Steel Energy. Wonder if they will nerf that a bit next season. I mean, how much can you nerf it by anyway? The damage is really low, shield is already really low. I think Indes suggested it be lowered by another 10 damage and 10 shield, so 20 damage and 20 shield. Maybe that's okay. And then the other one I can see with a big change is Gravel Ant. From 70 damage to 30 damage, that's a good nerf. Gravel Ant, the card in itself is already very strong. And 70 and 50 shield, that's a bit too much. That's a good nerf back then. But yeah, again, just minor nerfs here and there. Nothing too crazy, I guess. But yeah, you get the idea. Looks like they never nerf cards too hard. They do tend to buff a bit hard sometimes, like doubling the damage of a card like Double Talk. But even buffing seems to become less and less drastic as the seasons progress. Like Season 17, the first one that we covered, they only had like a few minor damage and shield changes. Nothing crazy. The crazier ones were earlier, like the Season 7, where Double Talk had almost doubled the damage, and Gravel Ant had almost half of its damage reduced. So it seems to be less and less drastic, the changes. I guess as the seasons progress, it becomes more and more balanced, so they don't have to change too much. So yeah, what I wanted to say was, I guess you don't have to worry too much about your Axie's card getting nerfed to the ground. Probably more buffed cards than nerfed cards again, if there's a balance change this coming season. But I guess we'll have to see. I mean, the only ones I'm kind of sure that will probably be getting nerfed is Cute Bunny. Here, top 100 players right now, most used cards, Cute Bunny's at the top at 25%, almost 25%. But yeah, the only card for sure I see getting nerfed is probably Cute Bunny. And some also saying Grass Snake. I think Indes suggests Sirius, Garish Worm also. But I don't think Garish is too powerful. I guess maybe apply just 1 poison because the damage is already pretty high at 100. Double Talk at 7%, but I'm not sure. Maybe 10 damage nerf, 10-20 damage nerf. Still think it's pretty powerful. Double Talk. And Grass Snake, I'm not really sure how you nerf this. Apply 2 poisons, but it already does like barely any damage and it has barely any shield. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do with this if they nerf it. But yeah, I just wanted to cover the previous balance changes so you kind of have a better idea of how they nerf and buff cards. I mean, if you're a newer player like me anyway. If you're an older player, you probably already know how they nerf and buff. I don't think the changes will be too drastic, so I don't think you guys have anything too much to be worried about. So yeah, the SLP giveaway. I'm giving away 400 SLP to a random winner. All you gotta do is like the video and comment which card do you think is most likely to get nerfed next patch. But yeah, that's all you gotta do. But yeah, I'll be choosing a random winner next week. Big shout out to John D, who was the last SLP winner who passed on his prize. So I'm adding his 200 SLP to this giveaway, so that's 400 SLP. So thank you again, John D. Anyway guys, if you guys like my content, please consider liking the video or even subscribe to me if you really like my content. I really appreciate it. But yeah, see you guys soon. Bye bye.